Hi, I'm Josh Brown. With me as always is Michael Batnick, and today we're going to play What Are Your Thoughts? With us today is special guest, my friend Allison Schrager. Michael does not know what topics I'm going to ask him about, and I don't know what Michael's going to ask me about. Stick around. Okay, Mike, I wanted to ask you about Coinbase launched a Bitcoin index fund or crypto index fund. The minimum is $250,000, and I think it's an annual fee of 2%. Is this what finally gets you off the ledge?
So it's like institutional share class only?
Yes.
250, that's
up to 20 million. I don't know what size you were thinking of.
That's the size that I'm a little bit uncomfortable with.
Okay.
I'm eyeballing Podcoin. $17 million market cap looks cheap at these levels.
Okay.
No interest.
Okay. Allison, does this get you excited about crypto now that you finally have an index version?
Is it all the cryptos together?
Yeah, it's the 4 cryptocurrencies that trade on Coinbase. So Litecoin, not Potcoin, Bitcoin Cash, Ethereum, and Bitcoin, regular Bitcoin.
I'm betting there's not a lot of diversification because they're probably all pretty tightly correlated, right?
Yeah, so far, but
no.
Not necessarily in the future. I'm gonna wait till it comes down to a lower price earnings ratio.
If Bitcoin goes to 2,000, I'll buy some.
You want the breakout?
Oh, for real? If it goes,
you want the washout?
Yeah, like an 80 to 90% decline, I'll buy some.
But you're gonna put up $250,000 for the index?
Yeah.
All right, it's to you.
All right. A few weeks ago, I spent some time in Atlantic City, a weekend, and I lost a few $100 like I do every time. And I was just thinking, like, are casinos the greatest investment ever? It just seems like everybody who goes there loses money. Why doesn't everybody own casino stock?
So my take on that is saturation. I think there's too many. There's Indian casinos all over the country, and then there's regular casinos that have just opened in different states where they didn't used to exist. And then there's the stock market, and then there's crypto, and then there's online poker, and then there's a million different ways that you can scratch that itch that maybe didn't exist in the 60s, the 70s. So I don't think they're great investments. Just my personal take. Your thoughts, Annie? Are you a big gambler?
Not at all.
None. Okay. So no crypto, no casinos. How do we get you speculating?
I won't do anything that doesn't have an expected value of bigger than 0.
And all of those things do.
Yeah.
So far.
Less than 0.
Speaking of casinos, I just noticed today was a Fed meeting and the Fed raised a quarter of a point, and I noticed that there was no chatter beforehand going in. No one's really talking about it. No one's really writing about it. No one seems to be concerned anymore. Have you noticed that?
Yeah, at least certainly not relative to what it was like a year ago. And I think the reason why is because they were pinned at 0 for so long, and every meeting was like, is this the one? Is this the one where they finally move? And I think it just is like Fed fatigue. We get it. They're moving. I think it was a 90% probability that they were going to move this time. They did.
But do you think it's because they're moving regularly and people have just gotten used to, okay, it's an up rate cycle and that's just what it is?
Well, there's really no mystery. Inflation's up. The unemployment's low. There's no reason to keep it the same.
Right. And then we used to say, when's the press conference and what's the language that's going to...
0 for so long.
Right.
And it was like, is this going to be the time? And it's been the time, and now they've done a few, and it's like, all right, we got it. We're over.
Do you think a quarter of a point rate hike changes anyone's plans from Monday to Wednesday?
No.
No.
I mean, maybe some day traders.
Right. They might look at some assets differently, but no one's doing business differently because of a quarter point hike.
It affects the banks a lot more than it affects investors, right? Like the ones that are actually borrowing directly overnight every day.
And if you buy modern monetary policy, they've already have it baked in.
Right. Right.
I love how we all giggled on that one.
MMT, shout out to MMT.
Okay, so the AT&T Time Warner deal went through.
Yes.
What is going on with these media companies? What are they trying to do? What's going on here?
Full disclosure, I'm under contract with NBC Universal, which is Comcast now. I think the cable and telecom companies have realized that they need to be in content, and the content companies have realized that distribution is probably as important or more important than content. So it just makes sense for both sides. And then I also think you have these aging people running these companies. Like Viacom, the guy was a living ghost for the last 5 years of his life.
Is he still alive?
I don't really know Sumner, but what's his name? Rupert Murdoch's very old. Like this is the time if you're gonna sell a big chunk of your empire or the whole thing, you know, this is the moment. And so
before rates keep going up.
Before rates keep going up, right? I wanted to talk to you about the length of your book. I read the first 2 chapters yesterday. I plan to do like 2 or 3 chapters every time I get on the train. It's 168 pages, and I should hold it up, but it's like that. And I've noticed like how happy I am to pick up a book of that size. It's such a novel thing. Yeah, hold it up. Yeah, the width. So, but I just feel like every book should be that width. I'm not even saying the page number, but it shouldn't be heavier than that.
Is there a question?
Well, I wanted to know what your thoughts are. Was that premeditated, or did you just run out of stuff to say?
No, it was entirely premeditated.
Because you read 1 million books. So you said to yourself, like, this is the size that I would read, and I don't want anything more than that.
My notes were like 3 times longer than each chapter.
Right.
Like, I left out so much. And the 2 books that really influenced me were Nobody Wants to Read Your Shit and Jeff Graham. And just people, who wants to read a 300-page finance book? Like, it's just too much.
Finance especially.
It's too much.
What are your thoughts on book length? I know you write.
I'm editing my book now.
I know that. I don't know if we're not gonna divulge what it's gonna be about, but like, have you given thought to like how much is too much?
You know, I hadn't thought about it. I went with until I ran out of stuff to say, and it was the exact length that was in my book contract. So I was like,
okay. Oh, so the contract specified a number of pages.
Well,
2 1/4?
Word count.
Word count, and that's where I ran out of stuff to say. So I was like, that was good
That
planning.
works out perfectly.
They knew what they're doing.
Correlation.
Yeah.
It's to you.
Okay. Do you feel safe?
Like just generally.
I mean, after this,
Allison's here, so yes.
Denuclearization.
Oh, Korea. I don't think that we were ever not safe. I don't think this kid's MO is to blow shit up. I think running these kind of countries is the family business, and it's about money and it's about power, and it's not about literally being at war. I just think like the nukes are his insurance policy that he could stay. I think everyone knows this. I'm not saying anything profound, but I guess I never really went to sleep worried about North Korea. I don't know. Any thoughts?
I don't feel that differently about it either.
Yeah, I don't think like this weekend I was terrified, and now I feel better. So, Jack Dorsey was at Kanye West's birthday party over the weekend, and I guess he got into a conversation with Kim about editing tweets, and she said she had a constructive conversation. And this is the thing that I feel like everyone wants, but they won't give us.
She's freakishly powerful now, isn't she?
No, she's getting things done, like literally getting things done.
Getting people pardoned, changing Twitter.
I am firmly in the anti-edit button.
How could you be?
Well, there are a few reasons.
Have you ever sent a tweet that's a great tweet, but you spell the word wrong? And
Tough shit. It happens. Like, sorry. What if you retweet somebody, okay, and then they edit it and they change the meaning of the tweet? Then what?
Ooh, that's a really good point.
That's a good point.
And what are you gonna?
Wait, what if retweeted tweets? It's too late.
What do you mean? I mean, retweet. It's too late. That doesn't make sense.
Or what if they were a little more, maybe turn the bird red? This tweet has been edited from its original format.
I mean, that's fine. It's like, this guy edits every tweet. Like, he's full of shit.
Well, no, but I'm just saying, like, what if there was a statute of limitations, like 30 seconds? You can recall something if you say something horrible and you don't want your life ruined.
If you send out a shitty tweet or you want to change something, delete it and then retweet it.
So just put it back out into the world.
I don't think it's broken.
Okay, fair. Any thoughts on it? Have you ever wished you could edit a tweet?
I have, but I think part of the beauty of Twitter is its spontaneity and catching your spelling errors.
Right. This is not. It's not a book. It's fine. It's a tweet. Who cares?
Yeah. Well, the president's social media team actually puts misspelled words in on purpose.
Exactly. There you go.
So.
All right. Speaking of nothing, Gunlock, 6% on the 10-year, he said, and he's calling.
When? By when?
Next few years.
Okay.
And he's calling for a recession in 2020.
Okay.
What are your thoughts?
He's literally saying it, or he's saying the probability is higher?
Oh, literally.
I mean, he knows more about fixed income than I do.
That's weak. That's weak. What are your thoughts?
What, do I think he's going to be right?
What are your thoughts?
I don't have economic forecasts. All right, let me answer it this way. I'd love to hear your answer to this, by the way. I don't think that anyone should invest differently based on Gunlock's forecast or anyone else's. But if you have money with Gunlock, then you should say, okay, I hope he has an answer to that mix of 6% and a recession in 2 years. What are your thoughts?
Well, I just want to know why he thinks that. Does he think inflation's going to go up?
I mean, you would have to.
Does he think?
How else do you get there?
Does he worried about debt things? I mean, like about a huge debt explosion. I mean, maybe, but I just want to know.
The U.S. government can't fund itself at 4%, correct?
Yeah.
Like literally cannot afford any of the things that we're doing.
Well, certainly not the entitlements that are coming due, but yeah.
Unless GDP growth is 4%, and then
yeah, over the long run, yeah.
All right. Love Jeff. Don't know if that's something that I want to start moving my portfolio around based on that.
It took like how many years to get to 300 basis points? Now it's going to double. And
exactly.
It's happened. I mean, it's happened.
All right. My last topic for you. I'm going to trigger you a little bit. Golden State is going to talk to LeBron.
No, they're not.
Okay. The Houston Rockets are going to talk to LeBron, or some version, or Golden State ends up talking to Anthony Davis. So we end up with like 4 super teams in the West, basically, and they all collude, and they all take a little bit less money in salary, and we just have super teams square off in the West, the same old in the East. I mean, is this even going to be a watchable product anymore if they actually pull any of these conversations off?
I think LeBron's going to LA. I think a sleeper is maybe San Antonio.
Okay.
Maybe he stays in Cleveland. I doubt it. But I thought
LA doesn't ruin anything for me. LA makes it more exciting.
I love watching Golden State. I mean, it's amazing. It's beautiful basketball. So I understand why some people are not into it.
But if you know on October 30th how the season's going to end.
But you don't know.
You don't know.
You don't know. Golden State was down 3-2. If Chris Paul didn't get hurt, I think they would have lost.
But do they keep Clay?
Yeah.
Okay. What do you got?
I got nothing. You took one of my questions.
Well, listen.
We're all out.
This is how it works. Thank you for joining us, and look for Allison's book. When is the book coming out?
April 2019.
Forget about that. We'll re-up this and we'll remind you later. All right, bye.